Mm-hmm. 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 Surprise,
Let's go.
traders. How we doing? God bless
I wake
each
up.
and every single one of you guys, all you silly chickens and AMC apes, GM apes, whoever you are, right? I want to say thank you guys for the 1,580 subscribers. We are on a freaking roll, guys. So if you guys are excited for the day, if you guys are excited to get some juicy due diligence, stay the full length of the video because it's going to be very in depth because we have a lot to talk about in this video. But I want to preface this by saying not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I do know how and where to have fun. It's in these stocks, traders. So it'd mean a lot. We're on a streak of 11 100 like videos. Slap the like button and subscribe and do all that mumbo jumbo, right? So let's jump straight into the charts. God bless, and let's go. Believe in the short term may be finding a little bit of a bullish bounce, and this is why I think that, right? You are now going on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of bullish lowering bullish lowering selling volume, right? So the sellers were the overall winners of the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, but the liquidity pool is drying up each and every single one of these days, right? And you can see you have closed above the 9-day EMA successfully, wicking off of it here and then testing it, dropping below it, and then closing above it here. So you are showing more signs of life in AMC that you've shown in a very long time, right? Typically with the 9-day EMA, if you wick off of it, AMC is so prone to lose it and then fully lose it. When you wicked off of it here, you've managed to hold this 9-day EMA. That's going to be key if you want to see this thing short term tick back up, right? You want to see this thing go for a round freaking 2. I think it's possible if you see this 9-day EMA hold. Now, on the short term, beyond that, right, you're kind of pinwheeled between a very juicy setup on the macro, right? A shoulder, head, right shoulder, potentially forming here after bumping your head on not just this horizontal resistance currently sitting at 175, but also your down sloping mega resistance from this drawdown in 2023 from the AMC ape conversion, right? You double topped here, tapped it here, you tagged it back here, here, and then here. And you finally came all the way back up, right, on record-setting volume, right? The most volume in a candle you've seen since back in this squeezy move when you ran up 400%, right? Or give or take. About 400%. So what I'm expecting on AMC, what I think could occur here is on TradingView. I love TradingView for a little bit shorter term analysis because you can look at what you have here very clearly on the candlestick formations, right? So on the candlestick formations, you have a falling wedge or a pennant pattern, right? I would say lowering lows and lowering highs with volume creeping its way down, guys. This is a bullish reversal setup on the macro or on the micro here. And then in correspondence, right, in correlation, this is a beautiful setup for green Monday open, God willing, right? You have a 1 hour chart RSI falling wedge that you've broken from, and you've actually broken above your RSI band on the 1 hour. Now, what this is telling me is you had a little swing from this goalie, and your bullish engulfing candlestick should take you out of this falling wedge and allow you, right, to retest not just this creeping golden line, but this horizontal resistance at 183. If you're able to clear 183 and get back into this territory, I think it's highly likely that you can go and set a higher high here. Just like AMC, GameStop's doing a lot of the similar stuff, right? You just cleared a higher high. But on GameStop, what I'm watching for is this textbook bearish divergence that you've cleared now, setting one step of bearish divergence, which does not spell the end of the world, does not spell the end of the run, right? It oftentimes takes multiple sets of bearish divergence. But I just want to clarify for you guys what this means, right? Bearish divergence signals a potential reversal from an uptrend to a downtrend when the price rises but momentum weakens. So basically, higher highs on price, lower highs on the RSI. That's what you saw in GameStop. But I do believe you are going to see multiple taps of this before you see a little bit more of a swing down, and then you confirm, right, whether it be something along these lines, right, bearish divergence one more time, break the local trend, confirm a macro retest, and then swing it higher. I think that's very possible. And I think it's very possible that that occurs, but we're going to get into it in just a second because we're going to get back to our girl Amy, AMC. If you guys are finding value so far, if you love the passion in which I speak, it would mean a lot, traders, if you slap the subscribe button and hit the like button so the algorithm can find us, right? You know, yada, yada, yada. But that's what I believe to be happening on AMC. There is a possibility here that this becomes a shoulder, head, right shoulder if you see a very, very weak bounce and turnaround on Monday. That is a possibility, but I'm going to be watching it come Monday open, and I'll let you guys know if you guys report back here afterwards what the synopsis is, right? So beyond the 1 hour, right, let's look at the daily chart on AMC. On AMC, you have a nice hanging man candle. Even though those are typically bearish, you could just see how bearish this one was back here, right? You wicked above this horizontal line, and you retested it, and then you made a freaking 15% move, right? If this does intend to break out here, you would take the full length of this line, right, this move up, and you would stick it on top of the breakout, which takes you to a higher high, very similarly to GameStop's, right, slightly higher high, but a tactical breakout on AMC, which is what we're watching for on the local time frame. We need to see, if you want to see this bullish momentum survive, you need to see a turnaround here and a break above $2. If you are able to successfully break out, right, and I really like this price target for the point of technical confluence here. When you look at the local chart, right, look at the previous all-time low at 206. That all-time low lines up pretty much perfectly with this rejection that would be the price target from that flag. I think that makes a lot of sense to me, but that's if all of these scenarios play out, right? But I think that would be a beautiful symmetrical setup for AMC to find a little bit of consolidation in this range. I really, really like the look, guys, because of the following three things. You're above the 9-day EMA. Your consolidation on the volume is very, very dry. And, guys, you are potentially going to force a golden cross for the first time since back in February of 2021, which would be the most significant historical landmark on this chart since back in 2021, guys. This is what really set the alarm on a lot of traders' portfolios, right? This got the attention of a lot of big institutions, hedge funds, and retail traders when this happened, as you squeeze 1,000%, and then you gamma squeezed basically to all-time high. That's what we're watching for AMC, although I don't think it's likely that you see another all-time high here. There are so many different price targets that you could make up, right? Although I would say do your own due diligence. There are some pretty squeezy price targets at $13, $19, and $43, all looking to be gap fills, right? That's a pretty insane jump from where we are today, but I do believe them to be possible, right? $13 is 600%. Let's say you have a 2021 run, right? 1,000%. That takes you to that $19 gap fill. History often does not repeat, but it does rhyme. I could see something like that happening. And this is your macro target if you are a long-term investor in this stock and want to see the macro recovery similar to like a Carvana. $43 in my opinion. Carvana would be a beautiful story to see on something like AMC, right? $400 all the way down to $300 and then recovers slowly but steadily all the way up to $500, guys. AMC, though, still has so much room to run here if you can see a little bit of a cool down on the RSI. One thing I do not like is the daily MACD curling down, but that could very easily be denied. On the weekly time frame, we saw exactly what we wanted to see, right? We talked about this triple white soldiers, the three white soldiers formation, three rising volume bars, and then you saw a rejection candle. But this is, in the long scheme of things, just an inside bar formation. On lowering volume leads me to indicate that you're going to see some consolidation here, unless the volume steps in like it did back here to drive you down into a new formation. But beyond that, guys, quarterly MACD, you already know what it is. We have a quarterly bullish engulfing candle as it lies, up 67% on the quarter, which I believe that kind of bullish price action, guys, will lead this quarterly MACD to cross for the first time since back here, guys. And that is the macro flip that you need to hopefully see some squeezy price action, right? If you want to see a risk on environment, you're going to see that happen to a lot of small cap stocks. And you're going to need IWM to go ballistic. But before we get into IWM, guys, we're going to jump into GameStop. I'm going to give you an update on technical ticker GME. And I would like for you guys to slap the subscribe button, please, and thank you. All right. For all my GME junkies out there, this is a beautiful stock, right? This is one of the better stocks in the market for two reasons. I would say a golden cross, beautiful to see a follow through out of this descending consolidation formation. And then also, right, the fundamentals of the company. You could look at any other company, but this one particularly, disgusting, right? You look at the earnings on GameStop, beat after beat after beat. I want to say we're 7 beats in a row, guys. And to see that you are at the same exact tactical price, right? You're at $25. Let's just take a quick blast to the past here. And, oh yeah, were we valued at $25 back in September of 2022? Oh yeah, when we weren't pulling profit as a company, and now we're pulling profit every single quarter with $10 billion in cash and $500 million in Bitcoin liquid. Guys, this is a no-brainer trade to me. And I think the bullish sentiment coming from Ryan Cohen buying shares, and then Michael Burry saying $25 is great value, gets me excited for what's to come, right? Genuinely. In terms of the price action of the chart, yes, I did say, right, we have bearish divergence, but you can be proven wrong on bearish div, right? That could play out bullish some of the time, but most of the time, right? It tends to make multiple touches. So I have the belief that you might see a little bit more of a grinding here upwards until you find a rejection, and then you come back up. And I think that's what's most likely based off of what I'm seeing on IWM, right? Oops, I did not mean to draw that line. IWM is the broader market meme basket, right? For a lot of these small cap stocks. And what you've seen is a very, very aggressive pull up. One of the hardest runs in IWM history, right? 17% in 25 days is a recovery that I have not seen in a very, very long time. It's very reminiscent of this, right? This hard V line before you broke the neckline and ran like crazy. Well, right, you've broken the neckline. In fact, not only have you broken it, you retested your previous all-time high. That is significantly bullish, right? You look at just look at where my cursor is and look at the dotted line across pretty much perfectly, right? 269.83. Your retest was 271.95. So very, very close. But you pretty much retested your previous all-time high. And on the short term, guys, you look at IWM, kind of looks nasty, right? I mean, you have made this $50, $40 recovery, whatever you want to call it. And then now you've flagged out. You slightly had a little peeky-weeky out of the flag while your 4-hour MACD is about to cross green. I do believe that this is confluent with a green AMC open on Monday, and for GME to slowly grind higher. Whether or not that means you're going to do so inevitably on the weekly, we'll have to see. I will say the thing that I don't like on the weekly is throughout this insane rally northwards. You've seen 1, 2, 3, 4 green candles on the weekly in a row, each with less and less and less of a bid. Typically from a breakout, you want to see the exact reverse of that, right? You want to go back in time and you want to go back to when we broke this neckline, right? This was back in 2025 when we broke the neckline from the V-shape. And when you did that, traders, you saw an increase in volume. You saw a little bit of a decrease and then a big swing higher and a swing equal to that, right? You saw capitulation back in November, but in the broader scheme of things, this dramatic of a decrease is never a good thing. So as we work out this broader IWM formation, right, you had a falling broadening wedge inside of this 5-wave formation. I'm going to highlight it for you. Count 1, 2, 3, 4. Oopsie daisies. I think I had that in IWM on TradingView. Yep. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this would be your 5th move of this broader structure. Up 1, down 2, up 3, up down 4, up 5, and there's a lot of resistance up in this pinnacle. Whoa, up in this pinnacle, right? As you look, you have this previous support trend that you'll be testing outside of that flag breakout, theoretically upwards of 187. You also have this previous resistance here from this rising wedge that you would be testing right around 292. The most bullish case scenario is if I get rid of that, right? Maybe we demolish that resistance on IWM, right? Flag out, boom. You pass past this, right? Just demolish that resistance, retest, and then we're really in a risk-on asset season. That would be AMC to the moon, GameStop to the moon, Neo to the moon, right? That would be your crypto altcoin season, all of the above, right? I think we're a little too high for that, but you have seen in the past IWM just kind of chop around this. So I'm watching for it. I will let you guys know and update you as I see the technical analysis develop. But pretty much everything looks like a green Monday unless the man tweets. But we're going to have to see and find out. I had one more thing for you guys that I wanted to cover. And no, it's not the GME warrants this time. I know. It is actually on X. And I want to give a shout out to my man Cantonese Cat because this man does some very, very good due diligence. And I really, really agreed with one of his technical analysis updates, basically saying 2022, right? Very, very different to what it is now. 2026 is its own beast, right? You look at the monthly time frame and you see a very distributive top here. You see this cup handle breakout retest. That is a pitch perfect cup and handle formation on the macro chart, guys. And if you feel the passion in which I speak, it is because I am so bullish on what is developing here on the risk on asset index, right? Indice. And this has been our thesis all along. And that's why I'm so excited, because we are seeing the picture come to fruition, right? And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing for everyone involved. I truthfully hope and wish that we win, right? Retail wins, because I want to see all you guys make a lot of money, right? This is a cup and handle with a breakout and a retest. Cup and handle with a breakout and a retest. And hopefully, right, we see that next move higher. And we see the follow through in volume. That's what I need to see from IWM that we're not seeing yet, is we need to see volume. And maybe that will come next week if we get clarity on war, right? If something happens with a brokered peace deal, we will have to see. I think that is what is creating so much uncertainty in the markets, is we could see new news every single day. And I know the markets see uncertainty as peak fear. So that makes a lot of sense to me. But in the broader scheme of things, guys, I think we're going to be okay. In fact, I know we're going to be okay. So God bless each and every single one of you guys and your families. And remember, guys, the best is yet to come. I love and appreciate you all. And peace. Woo!